Welcome to this special segment of the podcast where we turn our signature travel blog posts into quick listen episodes because we know high achievers like you don't always have time to scroll, but you do make time to reset. Whether you're dreaming about your next PTO escape or finally ready to stop postponing pleasure, this episode brings curated travel intel straight to your ears. If you want more support planning your next out of office moment, head to sunsetchaserstravelagency.com or check the show notes to connect with our concierge team. Now, let's dive in.
Alaska Luxury Cruises, the ultimate guide to premium voyages. What defines Alaska Luxury Cruises? The best luxury Alaska cruises are more than just scenic views of the Great Land. For me, it's about spacious accommodations, inclusive perks, and attentive service, making every part of these unforgettable Alaskan experiences effortless. Whether you're considering small ship cruises or larger vessels, the Alaska experience should feel transformative. Key features and amenities. The best Alaska cruises emphasize space and comfort over the crowded atmosphere of big ships. Most luxury vessels feature all suite or veranda staterooms, so there is private access to the scenery, watching marine life near Hubbard Glacier, or taking in Alaska's Inside Passage. These suite ships offer significantly better guest ratios than mainstream cruises, creating a more intimate atmosphere. Dining options stand out tremendously on luxury Alaska voyages. Instead of large buffets on larger cruise ships, multiple gourmet restaurants offer regional seafood, fine wines, and international menus. Some lines, like Oceania Cruises and Silversea Cruises, even partner with renowned chefs, which adds variety to each meal. The focus on fresh, locally sourced ingredients from Southeast Alaska makes every dining experience memorable. Wellness facilities are perfect, especially after exploring ports of call like icy Strait Point or the historic, quaint towns of Southeast Alaska. After a full day of discovering the rich history of places connected to the Klondike Gold Rush, it's best to spend time in a spa enjoying a fitness class or relaxing in thermal suites. Entertainment is usually more intimate, with naturalist lectures about the Tongass National Forest, cultural performances celebrating native cultures, or small group enrichment activities instead of large scale productions. Luxury Alaska cruise options also carry fewer passengers. This creates a quieter atmosphere and allows me to enjoy lounges, observation decks, and outdoor spaces without feeling crowded, a stark contrast to the bustling environment of big ships from lines like Princess Cruises or Norwegian Cruise Line. All inclusive experiences. One of the most significant differences in luxury Alaska voyages is that most costs are bundled into the cruise fare. There is no need to worry about constant add ons throughout the trip, which makes these dream vacation experiences much more relaxing. Typical inclusions cover meals and specialty dining, alcoholic and non alcoholic beverages, Wi Fi access, gratuities, shore excursions, at least one in every port. Some lines go further by including round trip international flights, pre cruise hotel stays in cities like San Francisco, or even private transfers. With a luxury cruise line, you can step off the ship at the best Alaska cruise ports like Ketchikan or Juneau, knowing that guided tours, cultural visits, or wildlife excursions are already covered. This approach makes the Alaska experience feel seamless. Instead of budgeting for every cocktail or excursion, one can focus on enjoying the natural habitat of this incredible region and its diverse marine life. Personalized service and crew. Attentive service sets the best luxury Alaska cruises apart from mainstream cruises. The crew to guest ratio is often among the highest in the cruise industry, so staff members quickly learn my preferences and personal tastes. On some ships, every suite includes butler service. One might unpack luggage, arrange a private dinner, or handle excursion bookings without the guest lifting a finger. Even without a butler, the staff remembers details like favorite wine or morning coffee order, something you'd never find on larger vessels. This level of attention extends ashore. Guides often lead small groups, making wildlife spotting or cultural tours more engaging. Whether watching bears near Wrangell or kayaking through Glacier Bay National Park, the experience is tailored to me rather than a large crowd. That personal connection with the crew makes each small luxury Alaska cruise feel welcoming and relaxed, even while traveling through some of the most remote and rugged landscapes in North America. Top destinations and routes. When considering luxury Alaskan cruise itineraries, focus on the routes that bring guests closest to glaciers, wildlife, and authentic coastal towns. Some sailings emphasize scenic waterways, while others highlight cultural stops or less visited ports of call that feel more personal than the typical bucket list destinations. Inside Passage highlights. Alaska's Inside Passage is the most iconic stretch of an Alaska cruise. This narrow waterway runs between forested islands and towering mountains, making it the best way to spot whales, sea lions, and bald eagles right from the deck during scenic cruising. Cruising here often includes scenic passes like Tracy Arm or Endicott Arm, where guests can watch glaciers calve into the sea. Ships usually slow down in these areas, giving guests plenty of time to take photos or enjoy the silence broken by cracking ice. The best time for these experiences is typically during the summer, from Memorial Day to Labor Day, when weather conditions are most favorable. Ports of call along the Inside Passage, such as Ketchikan and Skagway, add variety to any Alaska experience. Traditional totem poles reflect native cultures and salmon streams in Ketchikan, while Skagway offers historic Klondike Gold Rush sites and the White Pass and Yukon Route train ride. Each stop balances natural beauty with cultural experiences. Juneau, gateway to adventure. Juneau always feels like the heart of an Alaska cruise and ranks among the best places to experience Alaska culture. Since it's only accessible by sea or air, arriving by ship gives guests a sense of stepping into a remote capital surrounded by wilderness, an excellent place for outdoor adventure enthusiasts. Mendenhall Glacier is a highlight of Juneau, which guests can reach by shuttle or guided tour. Wildlife lovers will appreciate the tours that also leave from Juneau, with reliable chances to see humpback whales bubble net feeding during the summer. Downtown Juneau is compact but lively, with local shops, seafood restaurants, and the Mount Roberts Tramway. Taking the tram up the mountain gives panoramic views of Gastineau Channel and hiking trails that start right at the top, making it one of the best places for combining culture with nature. Wrangell and Hidden Gems. Wrangell stands out because it feels less commercial than bigger ports of call. The town's slower pace allows guests to talk with locals and learn about Alaskan culture. With its ancient rock carvings, Petroglyph Beach was a highlight many wouldn't find in larger cities. Excursions here often focus on wildlife lovers. A trip to Annan Wildlife Observatory lets guests see black and brown bears fishing for salmon from a safe viewing platform. Smaller group sizes made the experience feel personal, something sunset chasers often recommend for those seeking authentic encounters. Other hidden gems along some itineraries include Icy Strait Point, Denali National Park connections, and Glacier Bay National Park. These places don't draw the same crowds as Juneau or Ketchikan, but I value them for their quiet landscapes and authentic character. They make small ship cruises feel more than just a checklist of major stops. Extended itineraries and regional connections. Some luxury lines offer extended Alaska voyages, including British Columbia stops or even one way cruises that begin or end in San Francisco. These longer itineraries allow for deeper exploration of the Kenai Peninsula and access to Kenai Fjords National Park, where the concentration of marine life is truly spectacular. Late August departures sometimes include opportunities to witness the northern lights, though this requires clear skies and favorable conditions. The Tongass National Forest, America's largest national forest, provides a stunning backdrop for these extended journeys through Southeast Alaska. Signature experiences on board. Luxury small ship Alaska cruise options balance comfort with authenticity. The food, wellness spaces, and curated events make the journey as memorable as the landscapes outside the ship, creating unforgettable Alaskan experiences that justify the dream vacation investment. Gourmet dining and local cuisine. Chefs on the best luxury Alaska cruises often highlight ingredients sourced directly from Alaska's waters and wilderness. Fresh salmon, halibut, and Dungeness crab appear on menus, prepared in classic and modern styles that reflect personal taste preferences. Regional berries and wild mushrooms also add a distinct flavor that many don't find elsewhere. Dining options usually mix fine dining with relaxed alternatives. One can sit down for a multi course dinner with wine pairings or grab a lighter meal on deck while watching glaciers drift by during scenic cruising. Both experiences feel equally special in their own way, especially compared to the limited options on mainstream cruises. Many sweet ships also invite local experts or guest chefs to design menus. There are demonstrations on preparing smoked salmon or traditional dishes inspired by native cultures. Focusing on regional cuisine helps guests connect more deeply with the places they visit throughout Southeast Alaska. Dining highlights often include fresh caught seafood served daily, wine tastings with sommeliers, regional specialties like reindeer sausage or berry desserts, chef led cooking demonstrations, 24-hour room service for sweet guests. Wellness and relaxation. The wellness options that help guests slow down between excursions to the best Alaska cruise ports. Spas on board often feature treatments using natural ingredients such as mineral rich seaweed wraps or glacial mud masks. These treatments feel especially fitting after exploring rugged terrain in places like Denali National Park or the Kenai Peninsula. Fitness centers usually come with ocean views, so one can exercise while spotting marine life or eagles outside. Yoga and meditation sessions are often offered on deck, giving guests time to reflect while surrounded by Alaska's scenery during the best time for wildlife viewing. Pools and hot tubs are another favorite, particularly on small ship cruises where these amenities feel more intimate. Sitting in warm water while watching snow capped mountains pass by is a rare luxury. Some ships even provide heated outdoor pools, which makes it easy to enjoy the crisp northern air without feeling cold. exclusive onboard events. The most memorable moments often come from small curated gatherings that larger cruise ships cannot offer. Luxury lines sometimes host caviar on the ice, where I can enjoy champagne and caviar outdoors with glaciers in the background. It's a casual but elegant way to celebrate the setting. Cultural performances also stand out on the best Alaska cruises. Local musicians, dancers, and storytellers often come on board to share Alaskan culture and the region's rich history. Events allow guests to learn while being entertained in a comfortable setting. Evenings often end with themed parties or stargazing sessions. These events mix relaxation with a sense of community, letting guests connect with fellow travelers while still keeping the focus on Alaska's remarkable environment. During late August sailings, viewing sessions of northern lights on deck are even possible. Unforgettable shore excursions. The most memorable parts of an Alaskan cruise often happen off the ship. Watching wildlife, exploring massive glaciers, and learning about local culture give guests experiences you couldn't find anywhere else, making these outdoor adventure opportunities the highlight of any bucket list voyage. Wildlife encounters. Getting close to Alaska's wildlife on guided excursions designed for wildlife lovers. Join a whale watching trip in Juneau, where humpbacks surface just a few hundred feet away. Seeing bald eagles perched along the shoreline made the day even better, especially when compared to wildlife viewing from big ships, where the experience feels more distant. Some tours combined multiple sightings in the natural habitat of Southeast Alaska. Here's what stood out most to me: whales, humpbacks, and orcas during the summer season, birds, bald eagles, puffins, and seabirds along cliffs, land mammals, brown bears, moose, and mountain goats. Marine life, sea otters, seals, and sea lions. Every outing feels carefully planned by knowledgeable guides, so guests never worry about missing the highlights that make Alaska a great place for nature enthusiasts. Glacier viewing expeditions. Glaciers are super impressive, particularly when accessed through small ship cruises that can navigate closer to these natural wonders. Sailing past Hubbard Glacier, guests can hear the ice crack and watch chunks fall into the water. Many luxury cruises included smaller boat excursions to places like Glacier Bay National Park. These let guests drift closer to the ice walls, where seals rested on floating chunks. The smaller groups made the experience personal, and you will never feel rushed, a significant advantage over mainstream cruises. Cultural and nature tours. Some excursions combine rich history with natural scenery throughout Southeast Alaska. In Ketchikan, you can visit a native carving center where artists explain the meaning behind totem poles and share stories about native cultures. It gave me context for the many poles displayed throughout town. The White Pass and Yukon Route Railway in Skagway, a historic train ride that follows part of the Old Klondike Gold Rush Trail, is a must do for almost everyone's bucket list. The narrow gauge train climbs steep mountains, offering incredible views of waterfalls and valleys that showcase why Alaska is called the Great Land. Other tours focused on local foods and Alaska's culture. Guests can join a salmon bake in the forest within the Tongass National Forest, where fresh fish is grilled over open flames. Pairing these meals with stories from locals made the excursions feel more personal and authentic. These cultural and nature focused outings balance the adventure heavy glacier and wildlife trips, giving me a fuller picture of what makes an Alaska experience so special. Ventures by Seabourn. Ventures by Seabourn is a way to explore Alaska in ways that go far beyond sightseeing from larger vessels. The program offers guided excursions led by naturalists, scientists, and glaciologists who share their knowledge while we're out exploring this incredible region's natural habitat. Guests can choose activities like hiking to waterfalls, paddling near glaciers, or boarding small boats to reach quiet coves. Each outing feels carefully organized, with safety and comfort in mind. These trips are optional, so guests can decide how active they want to be during their Alaska voyages. The small group sizes make it easier to ask questions and learn about the ecosystems. We always recommend having a Seabourn all weather jacket, which is handy when the weather shifts quickly. This program creates a perfect balance for travelers like me who want luxury and discovery. Zodiac and kayak exploration. Zodiac and kayak outings give an entirely different perspective of Alaska's marine life and coastal beauty. Instead of looking at glaciers from afar, guests can approach them at sea level and feel the scale of the ice walls towering above, an experience impossible on big ships. Zodiacs are small, inflatable boats allowing the expedition team to guide us into narrow inlets along rugged coastlines. Their stability, even in colder waters, and how close they bring guests to wildlife such as sea lions or puffins within their natural habitat. Kayaking offers a slower pace, which makes it easier for guests to appreciate the quiet beauty of places like Glacier Bay National Park, paddling near Hubbard Glacier. It's an active option, but also peaceful and meditative. Both experiences are guided by experts who point out details guests might otherwise miss. They explain the land's history, the animals' behavior, and the changes happening in the environment. These excursions turn a cruise into an expedition worthy of any bucket list. Choosing the right Alaska cruise for you. With many options available, from Holland America Line to Norwegian Cruise Line, selecting the best way to experience Alaska can feel overwhelming. Sunset chasers often help clients navigate the differences between mainstream cruises and luxury options, considering factors like personal taste, budget, and desired level of service. Small ships versus larger vessels. Small ship cruises typically carry 100 to 300 passengers and offer more intimate experiences with better guest ratios. These vessels can access remote areas and quaint towns that larger cruise ships cannot reach. However, they may have fewer amenities and higher cruise fare costs. Big ships from Princess Cruises or Norwegian Cruise Line accommodate thousands of passengers and offer extensive facilities, entertainment, and dining options. While the cruise fare may be more affordable, the experience feels less personal, and you'll compete with more people for the best places to view wildlife and scenery. Timing your Alaska adventure. The best time for Alaska voyages depends on your priorities. Early summer season departures in May and June offer longer daylight hours and active wildlife, while late August sailings provide excellent weather and the possibility of northern lights viewing. We often recommend July for families seeking the warmest weather and most reliable conditions. However, this is also the busiest time, so luxury Alaska cruise options book up quickly during peak season. Budget considerations and value. While luxury Alaska voyages command premium prices, the value often justifies the investment. Inclusions like butler service, premium dining options, and guided shore excursions can make these cruises more economical than paying for extras on mainstream cruises. One way cruises sometimes offer better value, especially with land packages like Denali National Park or the Kenai Peninsula. These extended itineraries maximize your Alaska experience while spreading costs over a more extended vacation. Frequently asked questions. I often get asked about the best cruise lines, the best time to travel, and what kind of experiences to expect on board. From dining options and cabins to unique excursions and itinerary differences, several details help me decide which luxury cruise fits my style of travel and creates those unforgettable Alaskan experiences. What are the top rated luxury cruise lines for exploring Alaska? Lines like Seabourn, Silversea, Regent Seven Seas, and Oceania consistently stand out for Alaska voyages. Silversea cruises particularly excel at suite ships with exceptional guest ratios. Smaller regional companies such as Alaskan Dream Cruises also provide intimate experiences with fewer passengers and a strong focus on Alaskan culture and wildlife. Which months offer the best experience for cruising in Alaska? I usually look at the May through September window for Alaska voyages. May often has drier weather and fewer crowds, while June and July bring long daylight hours and active marine life. August and September can be cooler but offer excellent whale watching and fall scenery. Late August sometimes provides opportunities to see the northern lights. What amenities can I expect on a luxury cruise to Alaska? I enjoy spacious cabins, fine dining with fresh seafood, and lounges with panoramic views on most luxury ships. Many also include guided shore excursions, wellness facilities, and enrichment programs. Small ship Alaska cruise options sometimes include binoculars, kayaks, or naturalist led activities. Premium suite ships often include butler service and 24-hour room service. How do the itineraries of different luxury cruises in Alaska compare? Some cruises focus on Alaska's inside passage routes, highlighting glaciers and coastal towns like Juneau and Ketchikan. Others sail to remote areas such as Glacier Bay National Park or icy Strait Point. I've noticed that small ship cruises can access narrower waterways and less visited communities, while larger vessels stick to major ports of call. What unique experiences do luxury Alaska cruises offer? I've joined excursions led by naturalists, watched bears along shorelines, and listened to cultural presentations celebrating native cultures. Some cruises even host photography workshops or offer private wildlife viewing sessions. Scenic cruising through places like the Tongass National Forest and dining on freshly caught local seafood are other highlights I always look forward to on the best luxury Alaska cruises. Are there any all inclusive luxury cruise options available for Alaska? Yes, several luxury lines offer all inclusive packages for their Alaska voyages. I've seen fares covering meals, beverages, gratuities, shore excursions, and airport transfers. However, not all lines include everything, so I check carefully to see what's covered before booking. Travel advisors can help compare what's included across different cruise fare options.